Hello, did anyone see Vogue this month? The front cover of Vogue. Look at this shot. Just absolutely exceptional. I I was so pleased when I saw this picture on the front of Vogue. I was walking around Morrison's and I just wanted to shout out, yes! Yes! What a shot. And it made me realise how long it's been since I've seen a picture on the front of Vogue that has really, just for me, ticked all the boxes. And so I just want to talk about that a little bit. Firstly, I'm just going to say this photo that you're seeing is one that I've taken of the magazine in Morrison's with my mobile phone, with the magazine on the floor. So it's got reflections and things in there, so please just know that the quality of the actual photo on the front of Vogue is better than this. But look at that delicate, stunning, soft, beautiful finish. It's just flawless. And there's something about the colour of the background as well that just fits perfectly. It's not bright white, it's just that beautiful biscuit colour. And I think tonally and with the colour and everything, it just blends beautifully. And I also love the softness of the lighting. It's very, very gentle, very delicate lighting. There's no dark shadows, there's no harshness, but you've still got enough light to cast a tiny bit of shadow on the right hand side of her face so that it gives that face the roundness, the bone structure. It pulls out her cheekbones, that little bit of shadow on the left there. Do you see how it gives almost that T shape across her face? Also, look at her expression, her eye contact. It's like you can see straight into her soul. You know, that eye contact is mesmerising. And even the detail of what colour they've picked for the earring to go with the colour of her clothing there is just all these details. They just, for me, they got it spot on. I would absolutely love to have seen the studio setup for this shot. Wouldn't that be amazing? To see exactly where the lighting was, exactly where the reflectors were. Did they have a reflector like underneath, bouncing light back up into the face? That's often what we try in the studio. I just would love to be there. And also how much of this finished image is editing. I would love to see the raw file of this shot. I mean, look at that, the glint in her eye. Very often that gets photoshopped in at the end, that little highlight, the little glint in the eye. Because you probably wouldn't, I don't know, you might do. If you use a honeycomb on a beauty dish, you can sometimes get that little highlight in the eye. But yeah, I'd love to know if that's edited in. Ooh. I think the warmth of this image is probably one of the biggest things that gives it its impact. The warmth of that tone, the beautiful skin tones. It's just a very pleasing combination, isn't it? And again, I wonder how much of that is edited. I wonder if the background was that colour or whether that was finished off afterwards. So yeah, I love being in the studio. Who's with me? And this brings me on nicely to just share a little bit more of the time with you that I spent in London. Please stay till the end where I share some silliness on the way home. They can't get you if your doors are locked. I absolutely loved getting to this studio. I just felt that buzz of excitement. I'd come here to meet Lady B from the Runway Academy. And yeah, just so excited to be there. So Lady B helps a lot of people. She's an incredibly inspiring woman, and she helped me to walk with confidence. The Runway Academy is such a great place to start if you're looking to gain more confidence, have some runway modelling training, and just be around really positive, uplifting people that genuinely want to help you. And this is something that I'd like to do. In 2024, I'm going to start holding my own workshops, photography workshops, and I'm going to do a little bit of modelling at the same time. So I'm going to be collaborating with other photographers. I've already got something along the way at the moment that we're setting up, and we're going to deliver a workshop in the UK to those who'd like to learn more about portrait and fashion photography. It will be aimed at beginners, and we are hoping to find a lovely venue, probably in the southeast of the UK. We're just looking at some hotels at the moment to try and get that organised. So if you'd like to come and spend some time learning about fashion and portrait photography, this will be an amazing experience. But, you know, it wouldn't be fair to just do a video advertising something that I'm offering, would it? I'm going to leave you with a few special tips. One thing that I think, just this is very personal, but if you're photographing somebody who's maybe a little bit nervous, and I find I always hold a lot of tension in my face, so you'll notice when somebody really relaxes, the tension will drop out of their face. But one of the things that really helps me is music. Music can be so empowering and so uplifting, and you can disappear out of your mind into the music, and then you can find your flow. So as a photographer, I invite you to put yourself in the position of the person that you're photographing. What's going to relax them? What's going to help them find their flow? What's going to take their mind off the fact that they're being photographed? Unless, of course, they step into that role really well and they love it and they enjoy it and they're already relaxed. Many people, the camera can actually be a little bit of a barrier. So what is it that you can get your client doing that will just help them to relax? Perhaps you could photograph them doing what they love. Perhaps it's connected to their work. Perhaps they need to be outside. I know sometimes when I'm indoors, I feel really confined. When I'm outdoors, you know, in the forest or whatever, being photographed, suddenly I can tend to relax. So it depends on the environment. Of course, it depends on the people that you're with. Also, what's been happening before they get to you? Were they late? Were they in a rush? I remember I did a shoot a few months ago and the lady was trying to squeeze it in along with a million other things. And by the time she got to mine, she was very stressed, and it took a long time to actually just relax. So, you know, it's important if somebody's late to a photo shoot, ask yourself, do you really want to be impatient with them for being late? Do you really want to be a little bit obviously annoyed that they're late, because then they're probably not going to relax for the shoot at all. So you've really got to do everything you can to help that person be at ease in your company, particularly if you've just met them. It can be quite a challenge to build a rapport, gain somebody's trust, and get some incredibly natural shots all in a few hours. So what gifts do you have that you can use to help this flow? Are you in a place where you can go outdoors to a lovely, beautiful area? Do you have some great music? Do you have something in common with your client? always find if there's something to talk about other than photography that you've got in common that makes them feel like they're in the right place. Just something, a hobby, anything you can just relate to and just get to know each other for a few minutes, because as a photographer sometimes you can be a little bit nervous as well. So take responsibility for your own nerves, do whatever you need to do before a shoot, meditate, breathe in essential oils. This is what I do. I don't really get nervous anymore before a shoot. It's more just excitement. And that's another thing. Excitement and fear can have the same symptoms. So sometimes realising you just need to be grounded, and being outdoors can be great for that. So even if you start a shoot outdoors, then go into the studio, that can sometimes be good. Or just doing something in the studio together just to bring you both into the space. Forget what's happened in the morning, just bring you into that space energetically. And most importantly, make those connections. The people that we meet, they can become literally friends for life. They can feel like part of the family. And when you're in the right place at the right time with the right person, it can really, really change your life. One session, one day, 1 hour with the right person in the right place at the right time can literally change the course of your life. Hi, I've just arrived in London with the Runway Academy for an introduction to catwalk modelling. Very excited. Do you know what? I drove all the way through London on my own. That was more in my comfort zone than being stuck in a classroom earlier in the week. On Tuesday, I was in a classroom doing health and safety for a job induction. This was more in my comfort zone than doing that. When driving in London, sit forward, put your elbows out. Don't panic if you have riot vans speeding towards you. Some people say thank you, most people don't really say thank you. I still like to say thank you, but I do it with attitude. Thumbs up to the side. Yeah. Driving through London, you have to have attitude, you have to look menacing. Sit forward, elbows out, don't panic. People can smell the fear. Try to ignore the incessant beeping. They can't get you if your doors are locked. Try to get out of the way of the riot vans. But don't panic and have an accident in the meantime. Play intimidating music and sit like this. Don't get beaten up doing an impression of somebody who's in the car next to you.